Alright, I hope everyone can hear me. My window should be closed. So yeah, it is November 1st, 2024. This video is probably going to be uploaded on November 2nd, 2024 because it's like 11:40 and almost midnight. But it doesn't matter. The election is on Tuesday. We're all very excited. And I'm going to make my final election prediction. I made one, I think 2 months ago, I think. 3 months ago, I'm not sure. But I've changed some of my predictions, and I just want to talk about that before we head into Tuesday. So, oh wait, let me just define the candidates and shit, because we got to do that. By the way, I'm recording this on my new laptop. It's really nice. I got it for college. By the way, I'm a little sick right now. Not sick. I just have a little cold, but it's alright. We'll get through it. So that's why I sound a little off. But anyways, so you know the drill. Let me just zoom out. I zoomed out a bit too much. Yeah, that's fine. So let's just categorize our safe states. So I'm gonna do safe Republican first. So these are the states that I think Trump is gonna win by like more than 10 points. So we'll just sweep through this real quick. I think that's it. Well, not really, but we got this. I always forget this, but I'm not gonna forget it this time. See, South Carolina, West Virginia. Let me just check. Okay. Yeah, that looks about right. So, just his floor. So, like, he's pretty much gonna win these guaranteed 99% by like 10 points or more. Is 149. So that's like his floor. Now let's do Kamala Harris. Illinois. Illinois, yeah, that's it. Obviously, like those fucking so like Trump's gonna win all these like Midwestern states and shit, and like obviously Kamala's gonna win all these populated West Coast states, Hawaii, and obviously the East Coast where I'm from, so like Vermont, Connecticut, New Jersey. That's where I'm from. Delaware, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Maryland, and D.C. Oh, and New York. And Colorado. I'll say Colorado. It's a pretty like left ass fucking state now. It keeps shifting to the left and shit. I don't think that's gonna change, especially because I think a lot of people from California are moving there. So Colorado's basically like a safe red state now, which is kind of crazy because I think George W. Bush won that shit back in like 2004 or 2000. So yeah, this looks about right. Oh wait, no. See, I forgot. Maine's first. Always the fucking congressional districts here. 191 is going to be Kamala Harris's floor. She's probably going to win all these states that have highlighted by like more than 10 points. Yeah, I'm just double checking. Yeah, everything looks about good. So now we're going to go to the likely Republican states. So like my margin is like 5 to 9.9 percentage points is likely. So it could flip in like a really bad situation, but that's not this year. This election's a fucking dead heat. Let's see. Florida. Like, it's crazy. Wait, I think I fucked it up. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, wait, no. Is that the likely color? Shit. I guess so. So, yeah, Florida, it's crazy. Obama won the state twice. Used to be, like, the swing state. Now it's basically just a solid Republican state. I think Trump's going to win it by, like, 6, 7-ish points. I mean, I know DeSantis won it by 20 points, but Charlie Crist, generally unpopular guy for starters, and midterm years are different from election years. Hold on, I'm just gonna drink my water real quick. State elections is different than federal elections, so yeah. Florida, likely. Still fucking crazy. Texas, also Texas. I know like the state has been shifting to the left more and more, but I think this year like we have like this special scenario where like especially in like the southern part of Texas with the whole border crisis and like how Kamala is like kind of like stupid when it comes to immigration and like that's just like the perception people have of her. I think that's gonna hurt her in Texas a lot, so I do think Trump's gonna win that by like maybe like 6 to 7 points. So yeah, Texas definitely lead Republican, and that's probably about it for lead Republican. Damn, that's it. Yeah, only two states. Let me check. I think New Mexico is gonna be lean Democrat, so that's like yeah, I would say like 5 to 6 points there. It's a pretty Democratic state. And yeah, that's about it for lean Democrat. Not that many. So yeah, so before we get into our not likely Democrat, before we get into our lean states, this is where we stand. Trump 219, Harris 196. Now we're gonna get into like our lean Republican states. So like this is like where some of the swing states are gonna start getting into play. So just wait, I forgot to give her Maine. See, I missed a safe Democratic state. Yeah. Oh wait, that is sorry, but yeah, 198 Kamala Harris, 219 Donald Trump. See, I forgot to give her Maine. I always gonna forget to give her something. I'm not professional with this. I'm sorry. But yeah, 198. So now we're going into our lean Republican states, and these are going to be the ones that are a bit more, how do I say it, like swingy. It's like, to be honest, I'm willing to say Georgia and Arizona. These are two very important swing states. Biden barely won them in 2020. I think he won Arizona by like, I don't remember the exact margin. I think it was 0.3-ish%, and Georgia by like 0.25 or 0.3. I'm not sure. But regardless, they were like two very close states, and the polls have Trump up by like 1 to 2, and like I can't say much about Georgia because there are a lot of African Americans there. Like I think Trump does do fairly well with African Americans, so I wouldn't be surprised. But like polls have him up there, and like they barely eked it out in 2020, but like it being like a blue wave year, so I'm gonna say it's gonna go back to the Republican column, and I think Trump's gonna win both of those by like 1 to 2. I think he's gonna do better in Arizona, definitely, because it's a border state. So like, I'll say he wins Arizona by like maybe somewhere in the high 1%, 1.5 to 2%. But Arizona is probably like on the low end, like 1.2, 1.3-ish, kind of like North Carolina from 2020, because we're Trump really won that state by like 1.2%. So yeah, that's all right. Speaking of North Carolina, the lean Republican. Yeah, obviously. Yeah, I think Trump's gonna like very narrowly take that state as well. So maybe a little better than his 2020 margins. Maybe not by much. Maybe like 1.5-ish. Because like he's doing pretty good in these Sunbelt states. To be honest, like I think Trump has like he's pretty locked on these Sunbelt states. To be honest, like I'll be surprised if Kamala takes any of the Sunbelt states. Maybe except for Georgia, but like North Carolina and Arizona, he's got those locked. I think he's also kind of got Georgia locked. But then again, I am kind of basing that off the polls, and we can't really trust the polls a lot. Like they're so confusing. Like I don't think the polls underestimate Republicans anymore, because like I think people are more comfortable with saying that they're voting for Trump now. So like they're trying to adjust to that. So, but he's up by like 1 or 2 in those polls, so I'll take it. But I don't know. I think that's it for lean Republican. So now let's do lean Democrat. Virginia. I think this state might have actually flipped under Biden because he was really unpopular, but I think Kamala's going to hold on to it, although it's going to be by significantly reduced margin. I'm pretty sure Biden went up by 10 points in 2020, which is technically considered as like a safe state, but she's probably going to win by like 4, especially because like I think there's a new election law there saying that they're only doing like paper like election day ballots, so like Democrats may not be as encouraged to vote, so that might turn out some of the turnout numbers for Democrats. Republicans, like election day voters are usually still Republican, but I can't say anything. And especially because, Democrats are going to turn out a lot because, they don't like Trump. Because this is the thing I was telling, like, the thing with Trump is that you don't know how the election's going to go when he's on the ballot. Because a lot of people love this guy. A lot of Republicans who will not vote for other Republicans or will vote for Trump. But at the same time, a lot of Democrats who, probably wouldn't vote if another Republican was on the ballot are going to come out and vote against Trump. So, like, a lot of people hate this guy. A lot of people love this guy. You never really know with this guy. It's crazy. But, yeah. And New Hampshire. I don't think Trump's going to flip that. It's going to be close. But, like, I don't think it's going to be, like, fucking lean. Tilt close. So, maybe, like, 2 to 3. Possibly 4. And Minnesota. Oh, wait. Tim Walz is from there, I believe. So yeah, that's also something. If that's noticeable. Oh, and Nebraska second. See, wait. Sorry, I'm gonna toss a call. Yeah, and I think like the 4 remaining states I have categorized are the swingy states that are going to decide this election. So like, yeah, but before we get into those, 226 Kamala Harris, 262 Donald Trump. So he's inching towards. He needs inching towards it. He only needs 8 more votes to win. Let's do tilt Republican. Wisconsin, usually the most conservative of the Rust Belt, I believe. Biden won it by less, like the margin Biden won it by in 2020 was actually less than the margin Trump won it by in 2016, which was surprising. So, and like even in like the 2022 midterms, like Mehmet Oz got killed in Pennsylvania, fucking Tudor Dixon got killed in Michigan, but fucking Ron Johnson, he held on. I mean, by 1 point, but he held on. I mean, then again, he was an incumbent, so I guess there's that. But Wisconsin is definitely the most like conservative of the Rust Belt states. I mean, a lot of people would think my mom's coming in. Hold on. Okay, never mind. I hope like this doesn't mess it up and have to record again. But we're back. But yeah, probably like I do. I think I was saying that I do hear people say Pennsylvania might be the most conservative, but I'm gonna still say it's Wisconsin. So like I do think Harris is up in the polls there from last I checked, but like it's like under half a percentage point. At that point, the ball is so basically insignificant. If you're up, it's a dead heat at that point. So far, my election map is the same, but don't worry, some changes are going to come. And Pennsylvania, and Trump already won the election without this. He's a 272 silver, but I think he's getting Pennsylvania as well by 12 margin. And that's because like it's a little more conservative in Wisconsin, and like it's basically like the state. Like if you win Pennsylvania, there's a 99% chance you're gonna win the election. So like, they're investing a lot of money in there, and like I think that it's gonna go for Trump for reasons. It's okay. It's kind of hard to explain, but like I think I was saying this in my last video. Like all these Rust Belt voters, they're kind of like uniform in how they vote, and obviously like I didn't mention this, but JD Vance, he kind of. If you really do care about the VP candidate, like he'll be yelling and shit, like he kind of like resembles that white working class voter. He's from Ohio, like I guess he appeals to that Rust Belt person more than Kamala Harris does. So like I guess there's something. So I do think Trump's gonna win Pennsylvania, albeit by a very narrow margin, but I think he's gonna win it. So yeah, Trump's gonna win Pennsylvania, and as are all my lean to Republican states. And this is where I changed it up from my last prediction. Michigan. So the thing with Michigan is that I said that the Rust Belt voters are very uniform, but the thing with Michigan is that they're a lot more democratic and like progressive than like most than compared to like Pennsylvania and Michigan. Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Like if you look at the margins, like Trump lost Pennsylvania by like 1.2%, I believe, in 2020. He lost Wisconsin by like 0.6 in 2020, but he lost Michigan by like almost 3 percentage points. I think it was like 2.8%. Like it's ridiculous. So like, and even sorry, and even in 2016, I believe he won Michigan by like 0.1% or something. It was close to one. He like lucked out in that state. So that's definitely like the most liberal of these states, and like. I do think there's like enough of a shift and resentment towards like the incumbent Democratic government to the point where Trump could possibly eke out a victory there, but you're gonna need a pretty seismic shift for that shift. But again, the thing is, there's a lot of Arab. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, by the way, but Arab Americans, right? And they're dissatisfied with the whole policy on Gaza, so that could also hurt Kamala Harris. But I do feel like a lot of them might end up voting for her, like regardless, because Trump is probably going to be. Well, I was saying probably. He's most likely certainly going to be worse with Gaza than Biden and Harris have been. So I don't know if like they're gonna. I don't know. Depending on how many of like those Gaza voters stay home, we'll see. But like I do think Kamala's gonna like win Michigan. I think in the polls she's up by like 1%, almost 1%, 100%. So I'll give her like a narrow in there. It could possibly change. And Nevada, Trump's up in these polls by like 2 points, but like I really don't know because the state hasn't been Republican since like 24 years, bro. Like polling there always overestimates Republicans, and like they didn't even get it done in 2022 with Adam Laxalt and Catherine Cortez Masto. Like And that was like the perfect environment. Laxalt was a good candidate. In my opinion, he was like probably one of the best candidates in that 2022 midterm selection. Like Herschel Walker was kind of stupid. Mehmet Oz was also kind of stupid. Blake Masters, well, he was okay. He just kind of got fucked with funding, and like in midterm years, funding is definitely more important. But Adam Laxalt, I believe he ran for governor before. I think he was the attorney general of Nevada before. Like, dude's from Nevada. He's a good candidate, and like he couldn't get it done. I think he lost by like 0.8. It was close, but he couldn't get it done. It was disappointing. But then again, more Republicans are going to vote this time, and like I think there's a lot of Hispanics in Nevada. Trump does do well with Hispanics, so Trump could win these states. Like, to be honest, let me for real. This is my final election prediction. Donald Trump 291, Kamala Harris 247. But all of these tilt states, so like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, they could go the other way. There's a reason why they're tilt states. These states are going to decide the election. For example, I think the most likely scenario where Trump loses is this. 276, 260. I think that's the most likely scenario where Trump loses the election. Okay? But at the same time, think about it. Let's say he wins Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, like I've categorized. So many Arab Americans don't vote for Harris because of Gaza. Trump wins Michigan, and like Republicans turn out a lot, Hispanics for Trump a lot. Trump wins Nevada, and then you can get my previous prediction of 312. So like it could really go either way. So I'm trying to like find a safe conservative estimate of like, because I don't want to go completely to Harris or completely to Trump. I'm trying to balance this shit somewhere in the middle, right? So. Because this election is so close and it's a fucking dead heat. So, like, I assume that I think it's gonna be this. Okay, makes sense. Nevada has been known to overestimate Republicans in the past, but it could very well flip. Like, to be honest, I think the most likely flip here is possibly Nevada, because just like, even though they've been shown to underestimate Republicans in the past, like, let me see if I can pull up the poll numbers, actually. Sorry. Man. It sucks, but let me see if I can pull the poll numbers on real clear. We got Arizona and Nevada. Nevada. Alright. So this is a Rasmussen poll, so it's probably bullshit, but we'll look at the aggregate. Trump is up by 1.5 in Nevada right now. I don't think that's enough. They overestimate Republicans scored a lot. In 2020, Biden won it by 4. Their final RCP average in 2020 was 2.4 Biden. Biden won it by 2.4. In 2016, it was Trump plus 2. Now, in 2016, their final average was Trump plus 1, but Clinton won it by 2.4. So I do feel like polls, you can't trust them, especially if they're from 2020 or 2016, because they've kind of changed how they account for polls now. But like, Nevada, it's iffy. So I don't want to give it to Trump, you said, but I would not be surprised. Like, they have a Republican governor, but then again, Steve Sisolak, he was very unpopular. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they're pretty unpopular as well. But you never know. Like, people hate Trump a lot, so both these candidates are pretty unpopular. So yeah, wait. So I think Nevada could possibly flip. I think I could see it. I think these two could definitely flip. Pennsylvania could possibly flip. But if this happens, if Harris wins Pennsylvania and wins everything else, Trump still wins the election, albeit very narrowly. So, like, really, technically speaking, Trump just needs Wisconsin, because that's the only, like, state that he really needs. So, like, I think Harris might honestly have a harder path to victory than Trump does, because I do think Trump's got a lot on the Sunbelt. I could be wrong. But really, it's going to come down to Nevada, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. But for now, this is going to be the final prediction. Donald Trump 291, Kamala Harris 247, and therefore Donald Trump is elected as the 47th President of the United States. So he's going to be the 45th and 47th President of the United States. I believe this will make J.D. Vance the 50th Vice President of the United States. And obviously Donald Trump would make history, first time in 132 years that we had a one-term president successfully come back to serve a second non-consecutive term. But either way, like, this could really go either way. Do not be surprised if Kamala Harris wins this election. I do think Donald Trump is a favorite to win, and like that really just comes down to the fact that I didn't even have my cough drop yet. I'll have it after the video, but actually I'll have it right now. Actually, I don't want to eat while I'm talking, so I'll have it after the video. But like, think about it. Like, this government is really unpopular, and Kamala Harris, she hasn't proven herself to be a competent candidate. Like, you've seen these interviews, there's so many gaffes that she does, and like, she's not like a great candidate. And like, obviously, like, it's the independents that are gonna decide this election, and I do think a lot of them, like, they're gonna base it off like the fact that inflation went up so much, prices are so high, and wages haven't kept up. And like, they're gonna look at this and be like, you know, back when Trump was president, things were a lot better, even though like economic laws and everything, like, that's not how they work. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand that, and they'll vote for Trump. Although at the same time, there's a lot of people who are like, okay, you know, Trump's the fascist, he's an asshole, I don't want to vote for him. So it really just, it's a lot. There's going to be a really close election, to be honest. I've only paid attention to 2 election cycles in 2020. I was really dumb. Like, I was paying attention to it, but I was really blinded by support for Trump. And I wasn't like looking at shit properly, and I genuinely thought Trump was going to win. But if you look back at it in hindsight, it makes sense that he was going to win. The economy was in shambles. The economy's like the #1 priority, bro. Like, the economy's fucked. You're not going to get anywhere. So, yeah. But this election, man, it's going to be close, because the economy's not in great shape, at least how people see it. And like, at the same time, you have Trump, who's like a wild card candidate. He's a high risk, high reward situation, pretty much. Like, you nominate this guy, he could win because your base is going to turn out in record numbers. But at the same time, the other opponent's base is going to turn out in record numbers because they don't like the guy. So it really just depends on how those independents are. And to be honest, I think those independents care more about the economy than like the whole like Trump is a threat to like democracy type deal. Because the way they see it, Trump didn't do like much to like threaten democracy in his first term, except for January 6th, which failed miserably. Didn't have any effects. I'm not saying it was a good thing. It was horrible. It should never be done again. But it didn't have any lasting effects. Except, you know, obviously I'm not trying to undermine the victims of January 6th. You know, like, I offer my prayers to them. Sorry. I just feel like I should be offering my prayers for something that happened like 3 years ago. Almost 4 years ago. But there's no like lasting like effects on like the democratic institutions of the United States. I mean, here we are, we're almost 4 years later, pretty much. We're having another democratically held election. But if you look at the economy, things have changed. Wages haven't kept up, inflation's gone crazy. So, yeah, I do think that this is it. And I do think Trump's the favorite to win, but at the same time, you can never underestimate how much people hate Donald Trump. You just can't. And like, we'll see. This is going to be a fun election. That's all I'm going to say. I really don't know who's going to win. I think Trump's favorite. He should win. But I will not be surprised if he loses. That's about all. Peace out.